Hi, my name is Andrew Harris. This is task 2 for SPMA 1P91, and this is question 1. Beach and Chadwick outlined 7 stages in the business life cycle of sport: existence, survival, success, growth, maturity, decline, and renewal. The Canadian Elite Basketball League, or CEBL, is clearly in the growth stage. Since launching in 2019, it's expanded teams across the country, secured national broadcast through CBC, and created fan experiences like the summer festival-style games. They're also developing Canadian talent, including players moving into the NBA Summer League. The league's visibility is growing fast, but it hasn't hit full maturity yet. What's interesting is their off-season innovation, like the CEBL Clash event, which helps keep fans engaged year-round. The Professional Women's Hockey League, or PWHL, officially launched in January of 2024. It's in the existence stage, pushing into early growth. Attendance has been strong, many games are sold out, and they've secured TV coverage and support from NHL players. But it's still early. They're building their infrastructure and testing their market identity. What stands out is how quickly they've created rivalries and strong team branding, which are early signs of sustainable growth. The Canadian Premier League, or CNPL, launched in 2019, and I'd place it in the maturity stage. They've got stable ownership and regional TV deals, and they're focusing on youth development now. But they're also facing competition from MLS and need to sustain fan interest. They're not expanding. Instead, they're consolidating and working to stay relevant. Their challenge now is long-term survival, their community engagement, and grassroots development, not just growing their audience. This is question 2. Sport management is uniquely complex compared to other industries. Let me give you 3 real examples from this summer. First, managing in the fishbowl. Today, the Toronto Raptors and MLSC parted ways with team president Masai Ujiri, June 27th, even though he had 1 year left on his contract and had just been taking part in the NBA draft. This shocked fans, and it drew instant backlash from the media and even former players. In sport, every front office decision becomes headline news, and leaders are expected to explain their moves right away. There's no room for quiet, behind-the-scenes leadership. Unlike other industries, sport is driven by emotion. Every move affects fans, players, sponsors, and the media. That's a lot of pressure for a single executive decision. Second, athletes and personnel are treated like business assets. On May 23, 2025, James Johnson, the CEO of Football Australia, was hired as Group CEO of Canada's soccer business. His appointment wasn't just a routine hire. It was a strategic decision meant to reshape partnerships, sponsorships, and the public image of the organization. But Johnson also brings expectations, and integrating him into Canadian sport culture means managing more than just his resume. He's a brand decision. This shows how personnel decisions aren't just HR. They impact strategy, sponsorship, and fan trust. Third, let's talk about the sport entertainment hybrid. In late July 2025, WWE announced a weekend takeover in Atlanta, including the return of its all-women's Evolution pay-per-view event, running opposite of AEW's All In Texas. This kind of planning isn't just about hosting a competition. It involves live TV rights, streaming, talent schedules, social media promotion, and fan engagement strategies. These events are global entertainment products, not just sport. Managers have to deliver spectacle, storylines, and performance all at once. It's a reminder that sport organizations now compete not just with each other, but with TikTok, Netflix, and gaming too. Question 3. Volunteers are the backbone of community sport, but getting them and keeping them is a real challenge. First, I'd implement a clear onboarding system. Most volunteers get thrown into roles without knowing what to expect. Matching roles to interests makes a difference. If someone likes planning, give them admin tasks. If they're social, assign them to hospitality or fan engagement. People stay longer when they feel useful. Setting expectations up front also reduces burnout, which is one of the biggest reasons volunteers walk away. Second, I'd offer small but meaningful incentives. This could be something like tournament t-shirts, food vouchers, or thank you posts on social media. Some organizations even offer free certification courses, which doubles as a skill development. Even in lecture, we talked about both intrinsic and extrinsic motivators help with retention. People aren't just giving time, they're looking for connection, recognition, and a sense of progress. Third, I'd build a mentorship system. Pairing experienced volunteers with new ones helps with learning and builds connection. Also, flexible scheduling is key. When people can choose shifts that work for their lives, they're more likely to show up. I've seen this firsthand volunteering at baseball tournaments. When volunteers felt appreciated and included, they came back year after year. When they didn't feel seen, they stopped showing up. Creating community and showing gratitude goes a long way, especially in grassroots sport, where people give their time out of love, not money. Question 4. The Olympics have always been political, and broadcasters use their platform to shape public perception. During the 2022 Beijing Games, CBC focused heavily on Canadian athletes, even during mixed events. They highlighted medal wins, reordered standings to show Canada's place, and promoted comeback stories like Max Parrott's slopestyle gold. It became about Canadian resilience as much as athletic achievement. Even in athlete interviews, questions often focus on national pride and legacy, rather than just performance. In 2024 at the Paris Games, NBC used a similar approach with Simone Biles. They framed her return to competition as a patriotic redemption arc, using emotional storytelling to connect with viewers. CBC highlighted racing stars like Summer McIntosh and promoted her as a national icon. The camera work, interviews, and social media coverage were all designed to boost national pride. This is partisan broadcasting. It's meant to stir emotions, unify audiences, and build loyalty to the home team. In lecture, we talked about how the Olympics act as a form of cultural diplomacy, less about who wins globally and more about how each country tells its own story. These broadcasts are built with intention, and that intention is to promote identity, values, and unity through sport. Question 5. The resource-based view says a team has a sustainable edge when its resources are valuable, rare, inimitable, and organized. I think the Vegas Golden Knights are a perfect example. They're valuable because their scouting and player development consistently lead to strong on-ice results. They're rare because no other expansion team in NHL history has reached the Stanley Cup final twice in their first 6 seasons and actually won it in year 6. And they've done it while building one of the most passionate fan bases in hockey. They're inimitable because their team culture, community marketing, and even their in-arena medieval branding are just hard to copy or replicate. I mean, you can't replicate that kind of fan experience overnight. Their success isn't just about what happens on the ice. It's about how they connect with the city of Las Vegas and how they package hockey as an entertainment experience more than just a hockey game. And they're organized because their leadership, top to bottom, has built a long-term structure. Everyone from their GM to their social media team is aligned around their competitive and entertainment goals. They also use analytics, medical science, and community outreach in an integrated way. Nothing siloed. HR plays a huge role in that. Vegas hires people who fit their culture, not just based on experience. They retain talent, promote from within, and invest in staff development. That's what turns good resources into long-term advantage. In RBV terms, human resources are the glue that makes everything else work. Culture is their X factor, and HR makes it real. Thanks for watching, and that wraps up my SPMA 1P91 video assignment. I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed it.